wintertime. Atlanta, Georgia, kind of chilly down there. Cincinnati, Ohio. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Los Angeles, California. Chicago, Illinois. Denver, Colorado. Dallas, Texas. Toronto, Canada. Vicksburg, Mississippi. Miami Beach, Florida. Detroit, Michigan. Hampton, Virginia. Seattle, Washington. Washington, D.C., and New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas, and also Kansas City, Missouri, home of the Kansas City Chiefs, who was there this time next year, the Super Bowl be their team. Anyway, we're going to launch with the Missouri by Chino Commerce. We got to say that, we got to say that. We're going to launch with the Missouri by Chino Commerce for a beautiful Super Bowl weekend, February 12th, 2022. My name is Al Frost, your host, and creator along with Elder Allen Lott. How you doing, Rev?
Fine.
And I know I got to ask how the family is doing.
Fine.
And the soprano, the choir director.
Oh yeah, he's all right. He's doing his thing.
That's what kids do. And Scott, how you doing, sir?
I am too blessed to be stressed.
Well, let's tell the secret on you, Scott. You happen to be blessed. Because not many people can say they've been married 38 years to the same woman.
I'm not sure my wife would say it was happily.
Well, Scott, the key word is that you're still together.
Yes, we are.
That is the key word, that you are still together. You know, if you look back, you know, all the years that you've been together, you know, I guarantee you this, the last 2 years probably been the fastest movie in your entire life.
Okay.
I'm going to catch up with you, Scott.
What's that?
I'm going to catch up with you.
Yeah, you catch up with me, Ray. How long have you been together?
24.
24 years.
I'm working on it.
There you go. You're getting closer.
Well, I'm also 98. We got married also, so we trying to catch up with you, Scott. But we will catch up with you. God knows we all blessed, you know.
Amen.
To have great families that support us in what we do, and that's the whole idea. We got to have a family to support what we do. Otherwise, we're having every great man. There's a great woman.
Oh, that's true.
You know, and anybody tell you otherwise, you know, I had a guest speaker at my church this past Sunday, and then got Joe McGee, and he has made a statement is that in the Bible, in Genesis, you can verify this, that God had made man, and that he said man was okay, but he needed a helper.
Yep.
And so he gave us all helpers, and we got a helper, you can become successful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now in that tidbit of information, you listen to Ferguson USA, HotTalkRadio.com on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in St. Louis. When we in North County, we're in South County, we're also in City of St. Louis, and listen to us on a beautiful Saturday. As a matter of fact, without further ado, we will have prayer with Elder Allen Lott, pastor of the Walnut Park Baptist Church, located at 5547 Avenue, St. Missouri at 63120 on a beautiful Saturday. And you're going to have a beautiful Sunday tomorrow. We're going to have our prayer today with Elder Allen Lott, pastor of the Walnut Park Baptist Church, located at 5547 Avenue at 63120, St. Missouri. For those who just tuned in, we always say things with involve number 3 times. So again, prayer with Elder Allen Lott, pastor of the Walnut Park Baptist Church, located at 5547 Avenue, that's in North St. Louis, Rip. And how you doing today? What do you have for us, sir?
Fine. Let's bow our heads.
Yes, sir.
Heavenly Father, we give thanks for your wonderful gospel. How that Christ died for our sins, was buried, and rose again. By continue believing to the saving of the soul, continue to make heaven your home before you sleep and after you sleep. Heavenly Father, we thank you we're already seated in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. And our name is already written in the book of life. Your name could only be written in the book of life when you're born again. That's the only way you can get in there. And the wonderful God tell us where our name is even before we go to the grave. So Heavenly Father, we just ask you to bless the sick all over the universe, and that the Holy Spirit convict every spirit today to be saved before it's ever too late by believing the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And they pass from death unto life before they sleep and after they sleep. In Jesus' most precious name, amen.
Amen, Rev. We thank you for that prayer because, you know, you said something there, okay? He knows when we got started. He knows when we're going to end.
Amen.
And it's just amazing how he can keep track of all the billions of people that's on this earth. He knows everything that we all doing.
Amen.
And that is, and if that's not a miracle, who else can do all that?
Ain't nobody can do it but him. Jesus Christ our righteousness.
You know, there's too many songs that's out there that can anybody do it like him, you know, and that will never change.
Yeah, that song said, "Ain't nobody do me like Jesus."
There you go. Okay, anyway, so what you got for us this week, Rev?
We're in Ephesians,
Okay, oh my God.
the 4th chapter.
Okay.
Ephesians is the church book,
Mm-hmm.
and it's talking about the bride of Christ.
Okay.
Let's look at verse, the 4th chapter, verse 7. And verse 7 says, "But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ." Notice what they're saying. Grace is given according to Christ, not according to your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your uncle. I know this person, that person ain't got nothing to do with, you know, all that brother, sister, and uncle and all that. It ain't nothing but another gospel. People don't know what another gospel is. That's the tradition of your foreparents. That's when they talk about another gospel, because that's about the devil and his demons running that. I know y'all surprised, ain't you?
Yeah, but it's a fact of truth, though.
And he go on to say, "Wherefore," he said, "when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men." But this right here is talking about when Christ went down to hell. And he brought the dead with him that was in hell, which was in paradise. They wasn't dead, they was alive, they was in paradise. That's what he led. And that's what hell enlarged itself. When he said he led captivity captive, gave gifts unto men. Number 9. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? I like the way he said the lower parts of the earth.
Yeah, I got that, yeah.
Because both of them was right there together. The upper compartment was heaven or paradise, and the lower compartment was hell and the lake of fire. Verse 10. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens. That shows that it's more than one heaven. Everybody remember that says only 3 heavens, but it's more than that. You find other books of heaven and that says 12. It's 12 heavens. They're in steps. Or they could be 1, 2, 3 with 12 inside of the 3.
You know, Rev, the Bible, you know, loves that 12, the 12 tribes of Egypt, the 12 sons. You know, that's that number 12. That's why it pops up time and time again in the Bible.
Yes, sir. The number 12 is a balanced number. It's a completeness number by God. Why he said 12 tribes of Israel. That's all he needed was 12 at first to handle what he came in here to do. When Jesus died for your sins, was buried and rose again, he used only 12 people to do that. And then as it grew on, it went from 12 on to so many, you can't count them.
Amen, amen.
And he gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors and teachers. Now here people, why do people today call themselves apostles and prophets? God just did away with that through his son. And that's another gospel of false prophets. The false prophets. He gave evangelists, pastors, and teachers. That's what he's working through the game, through us today. I'm an evangelist, I'm a pastor, and I'm a teacher.
That you are.
The Lord made me this. So first you have to, when you start preaching the gospel, you evangelizing the people. Then later on, you're going to pastor some people in the building. And then you're going to become a teacher in that building too, and continue to teach until he comes to get us out of this world. Now that's the first part. Now we can go to Hebrews. Hebrews, the first chapter, verse 1, 2, 3. God, who has sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, had in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he had appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world. Now these heirs and sons, he's talking about evangelists, pastors, and teachers. Verse 3, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. That's why the Lord at now, he's in heaven. You can be assured that he in heaven.
Oh yeah.
And one day, right now he's sitting down. But it was a time when they messed with one of his person, and he stood up. He stood up. That's in Acts. And if y'all think about that, he stood up. That was Stephen. Stephen was assaulted, and everybody. And then this was when also Saul came on the scene. Saul was on the scene at this time. He saw them when they crucified Stephen. But Saul was a persecutor of the church.
Now, Rev, there are two Sauls in the Bible, okay? This is the one in the New Testament, okay? That became a hand-picked servant of God.
Amen. Now the book of James, we're going to go to. It says, but if you, verse 14, but if you have bitter envy and strife in your heart, glory not and lie not against the truth. You hear what they're saying? That's your false prophets. They got that in their heart. The false prophets. Then they go on to say, the wisdom descended not from above, is earthly, sensual, devilish. That's the spirit of the false prophet and the demons down here that imitates these attributes of the devil into mankind. Then it goes on to say, for where envy and strife is, there's confusion and every evil work. See, God is not the author of confusion. And this is what people, when they say they saved again, this is how they say they got saved. You don't get saved that way. That's a lie. In this next verse, will tell you how people get saved by the Holy Spirit. That other one is by the devil and his demons, making all that noise and rapping, which don't mean nothing. Because it's really for the individual to know that he's saved more than him telling everybody that he's saved, which that's what they said. Tell everybody you saved. Well, the book said you don't have to tell everybody you saved. You just walk by faith and not by sight. And that light is going to show in you if you are a genuine child of God.
Mm-hmm. And that your actions, matter of fact, your actions kind of speak for you. That's the best part about it.
Yes, sir. And then he goes on to say, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy, good fruits, without partiality, and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness, which is all that mounts up to Jesus Christ. As I said, the fruit of righteousness, he's the first fruit of righteousness. Is sown in peace of them that make peace. Now, people have a thought. I'm going to give y'all some on the word youth. Everybody y'all don't know what that word youth means, do you?
I'm listening.
Well, I'm going to give you the definition of what the word youth is. And touching of the Holy Spirit gave me this answer. It says a youth is a young male between adolescence and maturity. Now this right here is talking about Adam and Eve. Y'all don't understand that, do you? Adam and Eve. Male, female. Husband, wife. All right? That's the order of God. And now, Adam was mature. Everybody say Adam was perfect. We can't, everybody be saying that. We perfect. We not perfect. Everybody not perfect. That's a lie. You don't understand the word perfect. The word perfect means mature. Not that you can't see it. It's just like y'all mess up the word sex. The word sex means the gender. Male, female. Not an intercourse. Look out! Get your life straight. And so, and the Lord gave me that youth because Adam and Eve is we are an example of Adam and Eve because we male and female. And in every male there was a female. That God gives it. This is deep what I'm talking about. You got to have a spiritual mind to relate to this, not the natural mind. See, the natural mind think this, but the spiritual mind is a whole different thing. So may the Lord have a blessing to the reader and hearer of his word.
Well, Rev, we can always, one thing that you said there, we talked about this a little bit early on in the program. I think we also on there that God made man, but since that time, every person, male and female, in this world came through woman, and that was God.
Amen.
So God gave.
It didn't come through no another boy. Huh? It didn't come through no boy like they got this whole world corrupt. Like Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. When them angels came down there to see Lot and his family, they wanted to have an intercourse with the angels. Let us have a time with them. Let's show you how wicked Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why God destroyed that city. Everybody used to think it was the whole earth thing, but it wasn't. It was just a city in the earth that was destroyed.
Yes, and that's one of the things we say all the time, which I know I do, that the United States, even if we find ourselves now, we talk about this later on, we're the youngest nation in the world right now. One of the youngest nations in the world. America is one of the youngest nations in the world, I should say, with governments. And we are trying to put our ways around the world and force people to think like we want them to think, and that does not always work out too well.
Hey, Al, you know something? All this stuff that's out here, this wickedness out here, that's downhill. That's gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, well, right now.
And y'all think that y'all gonna do better? Y'all, they doing their thing. Everything is coming out, and these things in the world, everything is going on. But it's only one world, and that's God's world. God gonna let y'all know what He gonna do, and you can believe it. Every knee gonna bow, and every tongue gonna confess that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh.
Amen. And he does not play with you. He's serious. Well, Rev, on that note, we're gonna thank you for the message. Okay, thank you for the words of wisdom and enlightenment. And most of all, we're gonna thank you for taking the time to share it with us. On that note, this is a Ferguson USA HotTalkRadio.com on February the 12th of Valentine's weekend. And also, this is our folks, Reverend Elder Allen Live, and Scott Owens. Happy anniversary again to you, Scott.
Thank
Scott,
you, sir.
I'm going to go take it out of here.
Amen.
This is a weekend for a lot of things that's going on. First of all, happy Valentine's Day to all the men and women around the world, especially around.
That's Monday, bro.
Well, no, it's a weekend, Reb. I know, but see, I ain't gonna talk to them on Monday.
I know.
So we gotta catch them when we can, okay?
Yeah, on the calendar it said February the 14th.
But this is 12. So right now, a lot of people right now are starting their Valentine's Day weekend early, to be honest with you, because a lot of people be at work, So I mean, this is a time you're supposed to take advantage of what God gives you when the time comes. And so it's just not quite the weekend, but it's been an extended weekend. Matter of fact, the business would appreciate that. Matter of fact, that's what it's all about. People get candy, and balloons. You go to the stores, they all packed. So again, they already. So we got to tell them that. And also, I have to say to everyone listen to us that this is also a Super Bowl weekend, which is also that starts tomorrow, by the way. But already people are celebrating in Los Angeles, California, and right now we here in St. Louis, are not exactly happy about the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, we wish the Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals, a successful and safe game. And for all the people that travel to those games, wish them safety, and also we pray for LA in general that they all have a safe weekend there, and be safe that they go and safe they come, and also have a good celebration because there's a lot going on around the world. And also, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody that this is our program for over the last couple of years, which has been a blur. And it's not over yet, but all the prayers that went up for all the coronavirus, COVID-19 people, either Delta variant and Omicron virus, that's affected a lot of people. Matter of fact, over 77 million people came in contact with it, and that number is still growing as we had this conversation because people are still not getting vaccinated. And, and even now, as things are starting to slow down, which is a very good thing. We still can't get the fact that over 917 people have passed away. That was with us a couple of years, well, no, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. It seems like now, but they're no longer here, so we can't say that this is something that will be got no time soon. But right now, as governors around the country are starting to push back on, I say not push back, but withdraw mask mandates. Although the CDC is still saying be cautious and science is saying. And reason they're saying that, first of all, because there's a thing called, you may not want to hear it, but this is a fact of life, though. The Omicron virus has an Omicron A2 that's now coming across the globe to our country. And so what that means in short is that there's another version of what we just went through. And so now, although the hospital numbers are coming down, thank God for that, because the nurses and doctors all need a relief. I mean, they really do, okay? We thank God that those numbers coming down.
Amen.
The vaccinations, should be increasing, but they're not. Okay, but still, you can still get the vaccinations. We gave a number out the last couple weeks. Okay, you can get your kits and stuff. You go to our website, hottalkradio.com, and get the number for your free kits. Matter of fact, we got our kits this past week. And it doesn't mean you got to use them right now. But that's if you go around somebody or you're in an environment, okay, and somebody gets comes down with, you get a call and say, well, Fred or Josephine, before you was there last night, you got COVID-19. That means you use your kit that you got already, and then follow the instructions, to get that done. Or you can get, because right now most hospitals and stuff, clinics and stuff, they're kind of bogged down. They are bogged down, okay. And as you hear, a lot of nurses and doctors now getting burnt out. They were like in a marathon race for the last couple of years, okay, day in and day out, 24 hours a day, people on ventilators. People, and somewhere, help me out on this. In that environment, okay, to do that 24 hours a day, get up in the morning time, go to work, you're dealing with sickness and death, come home, sleep, you got to dream about it, get the next day, and then you still got to have to take care of your family, take care of your own self. That has to have been a drain on people.
Hey, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
I'm just putting a thought out here. I'm speculating, let people wake up their mind and see what's wrong. Hey, diseases are entities which are invisible to the human eye.
Okay.
That's why scientists have to go and look in their microscope and get a piece of that disease that they've been experimenting with and put it on their tube to see what it looks like and what kind of bacteria in there.
Oh, yes. Well, anyway, Red, that's one thing you brought that up there. Okay, we continue to talk about this. The Moderna vaccine was one of the first ones out there. It was created by a black woman out of Boston. But she was in a laboratory, okay, working with this, and that's why I said, never before have we got a vaccine for a pandemic situation. Quickly, we did this for this, what we're going through right now for this pandemic. Because normally, if you think about it, they're still trying to figure out, how to, cure cancer. They're still trying to figure out how to cure AIDS. That's what I'm thinking that's been going on for years and years and years and years. So right now,
can I say something else, Aaron?
Go ahead, Ralph.
I want to finish this because the chemicals that's in the air, it's chemicals in the air.
Oh my God, yes.
That are causing us to be sick. And that's because the wages of sin is death. The gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Yes, sir. Well, Ralph, let me change a little bit on that, okay? That is called climate control. Because all the chemicals that are going into the air, that's why we have all this crazy weather. Traditionally here in St. Louis, we were having snow starting in November. I mean, we would have, and right now, we had snow this past week. We're supposed to have 50-some degrees middle of the week, 50 degrees the other day. Now, that doesn't make you sick. And I'm just so happy to say that, I'm glad to say that one thing you got to keep in mind is the flu has not ran rampant because of the face mask that you have been wearing. So they are serving more than one reason for you wearing those things. Okay, so continue to wear your face mask. Again, you're not right now. Our country right now, we're not all vaccinated. Matter of fact, in Canada, I have to talk about this briefly. This blockade that they're having there in Canada, which is a bad thing, because in Canada, over 80% of the Canadians are all vaccinated. And matter of fact, the truck drivers that are out there, over 90% of them are vaccinated. And so now, what they're trying to do, okay, is to create something where they make a point in demonstrations, normally have demonstrations, protests, you move on. You don't camp someplace. And now, okay, that is starting to hurt our economy in more ways than one. They're losing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars every day because they're blocking the bridges. I should say they have been blocking the bridges, but starting today, after President Biden made a call the other day to the Prime Minister or the President of Canada, letting them know that it was creating problems in the United States because factories are shutting down. They can't get the supplies, they can't get the motors, they can't get some food. And this all is doing is adding to another problem in our country. Matter of fact, a problem in Canada because that's a two-way street. Those bridges take stuff over there and they bring stuff back across the bridges. And when you're blocking those bridges, okay, that means ambulances, a whole lot of stuff, is having a problem, I should say, that needs to be addressed. So again, the Canadian blockade is, contributing to, like what we have in our country. We have annual inflation, the highest it's been in 40 years. Well, that means that corporations are making more money, and unfortunately, when prices go up, they don't come back down. And naturally, a lot of things, factories, are getting back to normal. But the problem is nobody wants to go to work. Matter of fact, I'm hearing most corporations right now of almost the increases in their salary when they're paying people. They're now offering you benefits. They're now offering you education. And these things, by the way, normally was offered, when people unionize, these benefits they get. But right now, these benefits are starting to be offered to people. As a matter of fact, most grocery stores right now are having short hours. Not in grocery stores, a lot of businesses are shutting down because they cannot get somebody, to work in their stores.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a problem, okay, that this pandemic made us stop, I should say, and do a gut check about what is important to us. And a lot of people found out that it was important to spend time with their families rather than working 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. And that's it's the quality of their life. Matter of fact, in Missouri, we always nearly end anything, but our governor did something right here. He had made a suggestion, made a proposal to raise the salary for all of our state workers to $15 an hour. Well, we have a lot of people in our legislature, which is controlled by Republicans right now, don't want to pay that $15 an hour to all state workers. And they get paid very well their own selves. They get good benefits. You got all that stuff like being legislators. They don't want to share with nobody else. And right now, matter of fact, one of the things for the last 2 or 3 years, we've been trying to get Medicare and Medicaid for all the people in the state of Missouri. And the people ask for it, and the people the legislators refuse to give it to them. And another thing is sometimes, be careful what you wish for. Our governor was able to fill a lot of vacancies, most recently, like the Attorney General's office. Well, the gentleman, I believe his name, is running for office, but he just sued every school in the state about face masks. Well, in our state, we had some serious issues. Kids were dying, teachers were getting sick. I mean, that's why they had face masks. Now, guess what? One of the last schools that he sued was the school, this is where he lives at. What's wrong with that picture? Well, the governor appointed him Attorney General. Well, now he got elected himself, and guess what? He and the governor don't get along. Now they fight. Okay, the Secretary of State, somebody that's the governor appointed. He's going his own way. So right now, our governor and our legislators and people like that now, who are controlled by Republicans, are not getting along with each other. But at the end of the day, the laws that they're trying to pass is not taking Missouri forward. We passed a gas tax for us to improve our roads. That money's being held up. We got federal monies that came in. That money's being held up. So, I mean, not just Missouri, a lot of your states, so look at your legislators, people, please. And right now, most states right now are tied up with redistricting. What do you mean by redistricting? The congressional districts are being redrawn, for all states in the country, be you Democrat or be you Republican. And also, gerrymandering is taking place now. That we're going to hear more and more. What they're trying to do in gerrymandering gerrymandering is a term that came about when you try to take away a person's boundaries for their districts. Now that includes not only from a congressional level, also on a state level. If you're a state senator or your state representative, all that takes place, and then it comes down also to your city councils, or your county councils or your aldermen, because their wards have to be redrawn. And guess what? All this takes place because of the United States Census. And we all know that this past year, I guess 2 years ago now, former President Donald Trump cut off a whole 30 days of the census being taken. Well, that means a lot of people will not be counted, who were not counted. And now, guess what? That's coming to bear for the next 10 years. They have been cheated. The states have been cheated. And that is not good. So again, these are the things that you need to be cognizant of when you hear about these words. And what you need to do, if you find out what you want to know, call your state representative. He works for you. She works for you. Also your senators. Also the governors and stuff. These are people on your salary. They pay for you pay their insurance, you pay their transportation, and all the good times the money they're spending, even like the Attorney General is spending money in these lawsuits, it ain't costing him no money. I use the word ain't because it ain't costing him no money. It's spending our money. So again, please be aware of all this stuff that's going on. And also, I just mentioned early on here something that's continues to be more enlightening every day. What's going on with the January 6th committee in the United States House of Representatives, what took place on this insurrection on January 6th, 2021, I'm sorry, when there was an overthrow of our government that was unsuccessful. That's what history would reflect and say. And so anyway, having said that, as this thing takes place, see, let me say this to you. In the White House, in Congress, there are cameras everywhere. There you go. And now you hear them talking about these records, okay, that were stolen from the White House. Well, they have camera pictures, okay, of people putting boxes in their vehicles. So they have pictures, okay, of trucks hauling stuff out, okay. And the way this came about was when they was going through the investigation, okay, with the committee, they found out that the records were not leaking up, okay, with the documentation that they had. And so they go find out, and anything that happens in the White House, in Congress, everything goes to the archives. Now that's how we keep track of our government from year to year. So anything that's going down, and this may sound funny, okay, but it's not funny. Somebody flushing stuff down the toilet. This is serious stuff here. Because if we all recall back a couple of years ago when Hillary Clinton was running, they was on her about records. It's so funny how things come around to haunt you, right, Rick?
Yep.
I mean, all of a sudden it comes around. So now, this is something that's obvious. The president, vice president, I should say, and it has to be dealt with. And it's so serious, okay, now that the Attorney General was finally seeing me doing stuff and looking into this. Not seeing that he wanted to, but he was forced to. And also, something that I know, we talked about this briefly, about the committee. They're continuously moving forward. No matter how you feel about it, we all need to know what took place on January 6th, 2021. Because for the first time in our history, we had an overthrow of our government.
Amen.
And history is going to reflect that. They may not see it now because the media, when you listen to Fox, USA, USA with all the different networks, CNN, MSNBC, and all those, they all going to be carrying their version. But history is going to be very clear.
That's the work of the devil.
Oh yes, well, you're right about that. Now it is very.
That's the book of that invisible entities I said that it works in people.
Yes. And also, around that same thing, in Ukraine, this is something that's not going to go away anytime soon. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day. I let him remain anonymous, okay? Now, Putin and Russia have always been very clear about what they're going to do. So I don't understand, me personally, why should we wait to do a embargo, some sanctions on Russia to wait for somebody to die first? Why should you do it before somebody die? Cut off the money. Cut off the resources. Because all those tanks that go in there, they got to run off gas. You cut off the pipelines. Then that's how you negotiate. You don't negotiate aggressively. I was talking you aggressively negotiation. Not be retaliatory. But I know that's a process, you know, for that to take place. But we hope everyone now, all those family members that are praying that everything goes well, will caught us in that number. But also on a more pleasant note, the United States Supreme Court is down one person, short one person. And right now, President Biden is deciding between Judge Michelle Childs, California Supreme Court Justice Lenora Cougar, and Federal Judge Kennedy, Ketanji Brown Jackson. These are all qualified black women to fill the vacancy on the Supreme Court, and there's a promise made during the election process by President Biden, and he's keeping his word. So we thank him for doing that. Now, one job I would not like to have would be the President of the United States. He woke up this morning on the phone talking to Putin. He's also got a blockage on the northern border with Canada, something that he had no control over. That's controlled by Canada. Slightest idea what's going on right now with the COVID-19. Because as much as we get these vaccines out here, we still don't know what the long-range prognostication is, how it's going to affect our bodies. So again, as all this is going on, Rev, as you said before, earlier in the program, we live in a crazy world right now.
Amen.
Scott, you was in the military, okay, in the Air Force and stuff. What are your thoughts about just the situation around the world right now and how it affects our country, since you know a little bit about military?
Well, actually, first of all, I'd take a look at the Ukraine, and if Russia does invade the Ukraine, then it's going to take a bite out of our electronics economy.
Yes.
So that, you know, if you look at the big picture, it starts at the Ukraine. What are we going to do about that? And how is that going to affect America?
Yes.
So, you know, and from that point, you know, we have to figure out what's going to be the best for our interests. Now,
yes.
When you talk about the insurrection on January 6th, you also have to talk about the riots that were in Minnesota and Los Angeles and stuff like that. Those were coups as well.
Yeah, but Scott, in those cases, they were not blocking the federal changing of our government, okay? And they were not they did not go inside any buildings and invade any buildings or kill, people where I killed.
They
like
burned the buildings.
Yeah. Well, again, but that's on a city level, okay?
And why is that different than it happening at the federal level? It's
Scott, one, because
people.
it's not the same people, okay? Because you have a federal crime. You go to court, okay? You're gonna have a federal crime. You're gonna have a state crime. Then you have a municipal crime. Well, right now, when you come overthrowing the government, okay, that is called where insurrection came in. They didn't call any of those riots in Minneapolis when they had the George Floyd or in Chicago.
You're right. It was different people, but it was the same. It was the same intent.
Well, it was his intent to get attention, okay, to bring attention to a situation. We were not trying to block the government from changing, changing presidents.
Well, and you know that it didn't happen anyway, right?
It didn't happen.
Well, obviously you said it was to change the government, and the government didn't change.
Well, right, I'm saying it did. It did not block. Okay, thank you for all those policemen that died there. The people that died. Who are still paying the price. Okay, of PTSD. That happened to them.
I understand that.
So it was something that was, that really, like I said, history would kind of answer all these questions, okay, about who did what, okay, and that's the good thing about history.
Right.
At the end of the day, it gets clearer and clearer every day the further you get away from it.
It's not for us to like or dislike, it's for us to learn from.
There you go. And also, things to come, the Olympics are taking place right now. Also on the Super Bowl, one other thing, Rev, I know you're not a great football. Who knows? For football fans right now, who was the first player to win 5 Super Bowl rings? Do you know, Rev?
Nope, I don't keep up with that.
I know you don't.
I stay in my book. I stay in my lane. That ain't in my lane.
Scott, do you know?
No, it's not even my racetrack.
Okay, well, it's my racetrack, being that Formula athlete. The first person to win a Super Bowl 5 times, okay, was a gentleman, a black guy, by the way, named Charles Haley. And he played for the San Francisco 49ers and also for the Dallas Cowboys. And also in the Olympics, if you're watching those right now, as you're watching this speed skating and all that and stuff like that, and the figure skating, you have not seen but one black face, and that lady came from Canada. Her name is Vanessa James. So again, as we look at what's going on in the Olympics, okay, there's a lot going on there that can be discussed. And right now, we're just happy to show that we're now able to watch all this taking place, most time from our living rooms, on our cell phones, on our tablets, on our computers.
Well, a lot of people are calling these the genocide games anyway.
Why is that, Scott?
Because of the Chinese record of treating immigrants and minorities poorly.
Because some years ago in China, they didn't want people to have too many kids. Okay, if you recall, they had I think it was.
Well, that has been changed a long time ago.
Yeah, I know they changed because they found themselves losing people and workers and stuff. But it was again that even right now, this is the first Olympics when you have people there who are not at all ever been, with no spectators. There's no people in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first Olympics you ever had something like that,
Right.
But anyway, like I said, there's changes around the world, not just here in our country, not here in our city, not here in St. Louis. And that's a part about, we try to cover those things. We'll take a small break here. Lunch with Libertarian comments for a beautiful Saturday afternoon. February 12th. My name is Ira Scott, and that's real. Take us out of here. St. Louis, around the world. You listen to us on FergusonUSA.com, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. And also, you get our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and all those different places. But always, we always able to share. We got to talk about home and what's going on in our neighborhood here in St. Louis and St. Louis County, surrounding areas. Like most of the country right now, we still seeing carjacking and murders increase, which is a bad thing. So we actually continue to pray for your own neighborhoods, and we all know that prayers are blessings down. So now, having said that, we have a very, very special guest. This is Black History Month. And a lot of things that take place, and that is here for a day and gone tomorrow, so to speak. But I'm happy to introduce a good friend of mine, Miss Alita Anderson, and I said a friend of mine, we became very close. Miss Anderson. Miss Anderson is with the Miss Black America. So, Alita, how you doing today, first of all?
I'm doing well, thank you, and thank you for inviting me.
And also, happy Valentine's Day in advance to you.
Happy Valentine's Day, happy Black History Month, and Black History, as you know, spans all time.
Yes, it does. And
so we're excited about that and excited about making history.
And also, a man that will go down in history, okay? He's already made history. Your father. Tell us a little bit about what Mr. Anderson.
Oh, of course. Well, the Miss Black America pageant dates back to the pivotal year, 1968. And in 1967, my sister and I, when my father asked what we want to be, or what was something that we wanted to be when we grew up, not the only thing, but we said we wanted to be Miss America. And he knew he wasn't going to let our a dream like that among Black girls, not just for us in particular, fail. And he founded the Miss Black America pageant, which was founded out of protest. It's an activist pageant, and it's an opportunity pageant, which still exists today and has spanned more than 50 years. And in fact, if some of us remember Curtis Mayfield's song, God Bless Miss Black America, it was a theme song for the Miss Black America pageant, and it starts off him asking a little Black girl, what do you want to be when you grow up? And so on and so forth. But the stage is available now for young women, and we're really excited. Angelique Long is on the line, and she is our affiliate producer for the Miss Black America Teen Pageant. This will be our inaugural national Miss Black America Teen Pageant. So now we're available for young ladies from 12 to 16, and for the adults, of course, from 17 to 29. And the national pageant, after multiple reschedules amongst, this social and biological change that's been going on over the past years now, we're excited that we will have a live event in June in our hometown of Philadelphia. And Angelique, why don't you say hello?
Hello, you guys. Thank you for having me on this platform and your radio talk show. Hi.
Now, where are you located at, Ms. Long?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Where are you located at?
I'm located in Philadelphia, South Philly area.
Okay, the city, I love Philadelphia, I love your food also, I love the atmosphere there also. Now,
yes, it's beautiful, beautiful city.
It is. Also now, having said that, it creates a lot of history. Now, I guess, Ms. Anderson, one of the things I'd like to before we leave your father here, as a businessman, it wasn't easy in 1968, okay, to do what he did. So tell us some of the high points, the things that he did back in those days. This was a network event. It wasn't just a thing amongst Black folks, okay. This took the national stage, okay. Tell us about that.
Well, definitely the pageant from the beginning it made an impact nationally and globally, and the protest wasn't just against the fact that we couldn't participate in the national Miss America pageant, and there was a rule the Miss America pageant had of omitting anyone who wasn't white and of good health in participating. It was also about the lack of positive images in the media, and moreover, it was to interfere with our self-hatred and our the concepts systematically that we had breathed in about ourselves, that we didn't like our texture of our hair and the characteristics and physical aspects of ourselves. So at the same time, James Brown was saying, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud." And yeah, unfortunately, at the same time, Martin Luther King was assassinated, and so many things of conflict, but also that of impact were happening. And he definitely stood on top of those obstacles and didn't let it knock him down, and just move forward through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and so forth. And it's always been challenging. But he had the first pageant right across a few doors away from the Miss America pageant at the Ritz-Carlton in 1968, and he got lots of attention with regard to Black is beautiful, our heritage is beautiful. You know, not loving yourselves means you don't love your grandparents and you don't love your history. So overcoming things like that, and it was a beautiful thing. And then the next year we went to Madison Square Gardens, and that was the first time it was televised. And we partnered with Madison Square Gardens, which is a huge success in itself in 1969. And the Jackson 5 made their first TV appearance. Curtis Mayfield, I said, wrote the theme songs. Little Stevie Wonder. He serenaded the young ladies with My Sharia Moore, and on, and it just kept building momentum from there. In the 70s, I guess one of the highlights as we look at it now is that Oprah Winfrey was a delegate from Tennessee, and you know, there's many just people who have participated and uplifted the Miss Black America pageant over time, and we look forward to the young ladies of today. I mean, that, you know, Miss Black America looks like them, you know, so we look forward to all of their success and for them utilizing the opportunity and registering via the website, MissBlackAmerica.com. That's either for the teenage group from 12 to 16 or from the adults from 17 to 29. But yeah, I mean, the challenges, I guess, were definitely learning experiences that we even use to this day, and we continue to move forward. A lot has happened over the 50-some years.
Okay, Ms. Hanson, let me, since you know, in that 50-some years, okay, let's talk one thing, okay, that has drastically changed, okay, especially for Black women in our country, is how they wear their hair. That has been a great change. Because the other time, everybody want to have straight hair. I mean, and we have gone through all types of problems with people about their hair. Even in Missouri, there was a time that kids were getting put out of school because they wore their braids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many things that the Black female has experienced since then. Okay, in those days, she's almost a second-class citizen in those days. So now, in this Black America, okay, Bob, show young Black women, okay, they can be like everybody else. And I think in the case of that, we're talking to you now, as you were kind of much, I know your father runs the pageant, okay, but you are a living example, okay, of what a person can do if they get a chance to make a difference and change. You know what I mean? And I know that you're a beautiful young lady, okay, and we got your picture up and stuff, they're showing you now. But I'm saying, you yourself, okay, can relate to the hair changes. Talk a little bit about that, since what happened on hair for Black women since 1968 and present time.
Well, I think it just goes back to the influence of us coming here and change and being stripped of our identity, and causing us to think that our Black skin is ugly and the shape of our lips are ugly, and over sexualizing our bodies, and and having us look at another image to say that was beautiful, and then we aspired to that. We aspired to making our hair straight and narrowing our noses, and changing our body types, and to please the status quo or beauty that was whitewashed. And I think it still has its impact today, but I think we are not just as a black people, and as people globally that look like us and that we look like, but even other races that stem from us are now appreciating the length of our legs and the strength of our thighs and the shapes of our lips and so on and so forth, and our hair texture. But people still, it's still diverse. There's still people that don't have the self-satisfaction or even understand some of the self-care. And we have the stage, it's for everyone, for every characteristic, every color that we span, from the lightest, fairest color to the deepest ebony color, and every shade, characteristic, and personality type in between. I think that's one of my favorite things, is that we welcome everyone. This is an access program, and that instills confidence in you coming to this stage as you are and using your voice historically and into the future.
Amen.
One of the things, okay, to show you how people, let's say 10 years ago, as we watch TV now, and I know most of us, we all watch TV, we look at commercials and stuff, that's how, and commercials don't reflect. But 80%, 75% of the commercials you see nowadays, okay, you now have a woman of color in there, someplace blended in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you got, you have a black man also blended in, okay. And now in the past, never would you show a white and a black woman
right?
together, okay. But now you're showing them as families, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm black and I'm proud. We came a long ways, okay. And then our black queen, which is our black females, which we men hold up on the pedestal, which because you are our queens. But now, okay, you see people now have operations want to get body parts enlarged, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Lips enlarged, especially, okay, and trying to change their bodies around and stuff, to look like us.
Mm-hmm.
We can't count the money people spend on suntan lotion every year. Trying to get like us. Okay, so how does that make Miss Black America being one of the prominent displays, okay, of black culture? Being you saying I'm black and I'm proud, but you actually showed it every day when your contestant came from around the country, from around the world, and they went back, changed people, okay, saying I can do this. And that you guys instilled in people, in young ladies.
Well, it's certainly a feeling of pride, and also provide you the incentive for longevity to stay in there and continue to provide the stage. I don't know, to speak to the what we're seeing now. I was talking to my sister about it yesterday, how that's been normalized as far as a family unit, with kind of a soft push in commercials and things like that. And I don't know what the agenda is. However, we wish for goodwill among humanity. Let's not discount that. But the stage, that is specifically a cultural and identity stage, which is still needed, no matter what the distraction is.
Well, Ms. Ann,
we need that.
I think the one thing that your father actually did, okay, and this is always, okay, in America, one of the things that make a difference is that, he showed that black women, okay, and black families, okay, they did have money, okay, and that they had a spending base. And I recall, now, most commercials that you have for your cars now exhibit black female women driving those cars. And so you didn't see that. I mean, that was unheard of, but almost almost any car commercial right now, they have motorbike commercials, okay, but you got black women who are now more prominent than ever before. You know what I mean? And most of your talk shows now.
Yeah.
Tamara Hall, I could, Oprah Winfrey, she knocked the door down, okay?
Yeah.
And even on our talk shows, even morning, wake up, with Good Morning America, Today Show, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can see right now all those things. I don't know if you gave me the talk show, okay? But that was perpetuated, okay, by you and your sister, okay, saying, hey, I want to be like you. I want to be Miss America.
Right. Well, one thing, I mean, he just made so many impacts historically, some that haven't even been identified. He was, one of the first businessmen that went to corporate America and said how we respond to, by us, for us, about us, and how we needed to see our images, in programming outside of this Black America pageant, in commercials, in print, and things like that, and even provided the understanding of where we're located as a population, and and how we should be appreciated with regards to dollars, but also with regards to how we are approached as consumers. And that also makes a big impact on our self-love as well. I mean, when you're selling us a bottle of shampoo, all we see is the black girl, you know what I mean? Then that is still what we're aspiring, to look like, as beautiful. And that product wasn't designed for our hair and our skin types and things like that. But he actually got large companies, to make changes. And my mother was one of the first, or was the first Black woman that Clairol used in an, identification media campaign.
Talk about that. Talk about that. Okay, how did that come about?
Well, it came about from our relationship with the sponsor, Clairol. So, and it made a big impact and difference and change with regards to campaigns moving forward. So,
Ms. Anderson, one of the things, okay, your father, as a Black man, as a Black businessman, okay, to be able to go to, to go to Madison Square Garden, it's not like going to your neighborhood playground or your neighborhood theater.
Yeah.
That's a world stage there. And so, as a Black businessman, okay, what was your father's background before he did Miss Black America?
Oh, well, he was as a young man, he was in the military, and I guess he started his college career there, then he transferred to Butler, and he ran track. And he graduated from American University. He ended up starting his own stockbrokers firm, which was also a first. So he impacted the financial industry and shared that with our community. And, he always was approaching the giant, or not approaching it, I would say minimalizing the giant, because we all do stand shoulder to shoulder. So it's the mindset that we stand shoulder to shoulder, and that we have a win-win program here. And, and I think once you establish the win on both sides, then the party that's sitting across the table has something to consider. So, but he was in the publishing business. He had Elegant Magazine, along with a group in Los Angeles that did very well, which was a luxury magazine for, skewing to the Black population. And, he made quite a number of accomplishments. But it went from the publishing, and he always was producing events and plays and different types of extravaganzas, to the Miss Black America pageant and the Miss Black America programming. It's more than a pageant. He started a nonprofit, the American Institute of Positivity, and the pageant is actually a fundraiser for the nonprofit. And the main initiative, there's many, but the main one is youth leadership programming. And that kind of takes us back to the to really spotlighting the teen group, but also bring in the youth participation on a variety of levels. And we're excited this year that we're going to kick off the pageant programming in the pageant week and the opening of the TV show with a choreographed protest that enlists all the youth, that enlists the talent and the creative, that enlists all of the delegates, to come and parade and march from different points of Philadelphia and then overtake the actual stage in the theater. Yeah, so that's exciting, and we're looking forward to as much participation in that. And this isn't a thing where you have to be cast in, or you have to bang down doors, or you have to know someone. All you have to do is register. All you have to do is go to MissBlackAmerica.com, and you can be a part of this as a delegate. And then, of course, we also invite other internship and participation, especially from the youth. We even have, this is totally sidebar, but we even have, I'm excited about this. We have this Build a Bike program for the youth in Philadelphia, and they're going to be, as their initial project, making bikes, customized bikes as prizes for the Miss Black America teenage group, as well as the adults.
Okay, now, Ms. Anderson, that kind of, right now, I would say one of the things that Ms. Anderson has done along with your sister is made the pageant always, something that's relevant in the community, and you've been able to transition, over time. And that's the thing that a lot of people have not been able to do, especially a lot of black business, a lot of business have not been able to transition. And so right now, we have Ms. Long on the phone, and she's like the next generation, for lack of a better description, and so by doing that made the Miss Black America pageant, be able to go on for another 50 years or more. Would you say so?
Right. I definitely would say so. Given the fact that I had the opportunity to work with Mr. Lita and Mr. Anderson, it's been definitely an opportunity. I started with them in 2017 as an assistant choreographer. And I was down there with the girls, and was able to actually administer to the idea of Miss Black America. And I felt like it was so uplifting. It was empowering. And being, the age that I am, I do connect with the younger generation, being able to, work with the community, work with the youth groups. I have, a lot of presence here in Philadelphia. I'm a personal trainer. I work with rehabilitation. I also work with autistic kids on the spectrum. So a lot of what I do is more so working with the youth and working with the community, just to give back my time and energy for a good cause. So Miss Black America team is going to be here in Philadelphia come June 19th, and I feel like it's going to be extravaganza. This is going to be taken to another level. I'm excited, and I think that getting the younger generation involved is important because our girls need it. Our girls definitely down here in Philadelphia, anywhere in the city, in the cities all over the world, need that inspiring inspiration when it comes to uplifting each other and, being proud of our color of our skin. It's so important to downpour that energy and that excitement to our youth, to know that they're beautiful. It's not just what we put out front here, like you guys were talking about earlier, with what was seen as beautiful. We all are beautiful, all shapes and sizes and colors, and we have to embrace that. So little girls everywhere need to know that they're beautiful.
One of the things I'm excited about, that when I say you always remain very, reverent to our community, that you kick it off on Juneteenth. Because even that that day alone, connects you. But the fact that is becoming, we have Black History Month, then we come to Juneteenth,
Right.
And around the country, that is coming more and more prevalent every year. You're having more cities, have Juneteenth celebrations.
Absolutely.
And they become more mainstream now than they ever been before. And so to be able to take advantage of that transition, the Miss Black America into the next generation of people, and you're bringing history together, and bringing a long-term history together with a short-term history of Miss Black America to our future together, and that is a beautiful transition in my opinion, Ms. Anderson.
Yeah, the festivities, they do take place during the week of Juneteenth, culminating with the Miss Black America Teen Pageant on June 19th. So that's definitely a celebration, super exciting, and I think the fact that no matter what age the producers are, and like I said, we're Angelica, that's even a younger generation. But no matter what age the older aspect of the pageant is, the delegates are from 12 to 16 for the teens and 17 to 29 for the adults. So it always is enlisting the imaginations and the voices, of insurgents, of people, and we get a chance. We have to stay on platforms to speak to them where they are.
Right.
So that keeps the pageant young.
Ms. Long, I hate that. I normally don't do this, okay? I'm going to put you on the spot. How old are you?
Go ahead. I'm ready.
How old are you?
I'm 30. I'll be 35 February 17th.
Okay,
next week.
Okay. Happy birthday to you in advance, okay? Now ask you a question, okay? Because as a producer, okay, what are people not aware? Like in our case, behind the scenes, when I do the show, what I do behind the show, we all produce different programs. But to produce is probably one of the most important part of any program that you have. So now, being a behind the scenes person, okay, what is some of the most exciting things you found out like about being a producer?
What are the most exciting things I found out about Miss Black America team and Miss Black America pageant?
No, that you find that you enjoy about being a producer for Miss Black America.
Okay, well, what I enjoy about being a producer for Miss Black America team in the pageant, it's a rewarding experience. Just being able to meet Miss Anderson, Mr. Anderson, and Miss Alita. I think that being able to be on this platform has been exhilarating. I've been able to connect with so many people who are interested just to get their girls involved, because they feel as though, like, hey, this is coming to Philly. Oh my gosh, like, this is something that really is something that we need to get part of. I think for myself, the opportunity presents itself with me working with the youth groups already in Philadelphia. So giving that opportunity gives me something more of a platform to stand on when it comes to producing the show. Working with the girls in 2017 was an experience within itself, because I was able to see the behind the movements of the creation that, before the show hit. I was able to see the back scenes and how everybody worked with one another, and, what it took to get there. And, it took a lot of hard work. It took some sleepless nights to really get the show off the ground, and, to get everybody coordinated and choreographed the correct way for that stage dive. So for me, I'd love to be behind scenes, because it's the meat and potatoes. It's the heart of the pageant, and it's something that you can see and live for the rest of your life. This is a memory that will last forever. It's priceless. So to be a producer, did that answer your question?
Yes, so that leads to my next question, okay? If we sit here in February when it's cold outside, okay, and for the summertime, how do you envision, this new thing for the young kids? How are they receiving, this new component of this Black America, the next generation, whatever the description?
Are you stating basically because it's cold outside, you're saying how do you actually connect with other people?
How are the young people receiving?
The young people, I think that I'll say this. I believe this, that once they see the platform out there and what they can benefit from this platform, they will see the use of and the benefit of being a part of Miss America team. A lot of your parents and a lot of, grandparents know a lot about, this movement. So they're going to push their children of this day and age to be a part of something. We've been sitting in COVID for the last 2 years. There's nothing been going on. Everybody's been very dormitory, sedentary rather. And it's time to get moving. It's time to get our children out here and being a part of something and, part of a movement that's going to be historical. So I feel as though the younger generation will be a part of this. I think that when they, as soon as the word is spread and it's being spread little by little here in Philadelphia and soon in a massive way, it's going to be phenomenal. And I see that a lot of people will be involved coming to Philadelphia, around the tri-state area. I think that we have a great opportunity here, and a lot of youngsters will definitely be a part of it, and they're going to love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing here, okay. I know that a lot of corporations, okay, have always had these different pageants over the years for the young kids at an early age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in doing that now, you're now opening another door, for these young kids, okay, to see and be around, some people that's made it, so to speak, or either have a pathway. They can see one thing. The kids nowadays, they want to see what the future holds for them, where they can go, what they can do. And so you're painting a picture where they can go in their lives and be successful. I know I got several granddaughters. Oh my God, yeah. Matter of fact, one of my granddaughters is starting college. She got several scholarships, in track and such. She was part of the AAU stuff. But the thing I like about her and her sisters, okay, they're always aggressive. Their mother put them in different programs, okay, that kind of highlight them fashion shows. Taking them, like down in Atlanta area, with Tyler Perry and stuff, So the young girls now are being introduced at an early age now into what it is that that's possible for them.
Absolutely. They see the doors being open for them, especially with platforms like Miscarriage of America. Pageants in history has been allowing people to be more developed when it comes to their confidence, their stage presence, and their platforms. So I definitely agree that this is an opportunity for our youngsters and even older women, because we're going to the age of 29, be able to step forth in that platform and be able to say, here I am as a Black woman, and this is what I stand for.
Ms. Lauren, you said 29 older women at age 29.
To 29, I'm saying more so speaking, because of 17 to 29, we have the age group for Miscarriage of America, and then we have the 12 to 16. So I just more so was speaking on 29 is a little older, but it's not old, it's still young, younger than me, so within that.
Wait a minute. I do want to interject that I do want to interject the day we see the experience of interacting together, the younger group and the adult group, and they get the backstage VIP experience, so they get the experience of light, camera, action, but it's also the experience of life is happening now. So you want to be Miss Black America, you can be that. You can be Miss Black America team. You can be, the sky is not the limit. And you can start now, and you have help when you participate in the sisterhood of Miss Black America, with regards to whatever your goals might be. So,
one thing we haven't done here, okay, is we are not giving any contact information out about how people listen to us can get in contact with you guys.
Well, they absolutely, as I said earlier, should go to the website, MissBlackAmerica.com, go to the navigation bar, click registry, and register.
Three times.
Yes, 3 times.
Three times.
Hello?
You got to repeat it 3 times. You got to give the numbers. We give numbers on the
3 times.
Oh, 3 times. Okay.
3 times.
Okay. So MissBlackAmerica.com. Really simple. MissBlack America.com. MissBlackAmerica.com. Click registry and sign up. Sign up today. Deadlines do approach. The programming takes place in June, so it's something you should do right away. And you are the one that you're waiting for. So just do it, MissBlackAmerica.com.
And what age group are we talking about again?
12 to 16. 12 to 16 age group, and 17 to 29.
Okay. So really right now, okay, any young person that's out there, and this creates not only an opportunity, a pathway to be where you want to be in your future.
Absolutely.
And this is a program I know for a fact it builds character in a person when you have some teamwork, when you have someone that's working with you, to take you by the hand, like being the producer. And Ms. Anderson's a great producer. Ms. Lawrence, I know she's a great teacher, but you're learning a lot. But behind the scenes, you learn how to take these young ladies, okay, who is our future, by the way.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, who are
Amen.
who are
It's
future
a
models.
rewarding experience.
Yes, well, I know that, so that's why it's so important, okay, that what you're doing is not completely different, okay, but it's different in the black community what you're doing.
Right.
And that should be an extra fulfilling, you know, for me, okay, to be having the show today, to have a chance to talk about this, you know, and you know, as a matter of fact, Ms. Anderson and Ms. Long, as we get we're gonna have Chuck on shortly, but one of the things that Ms. Anderson that we left out that we probably should have said so far, I want to make sure we can cover everything.
Excuse me?
Yes, what have we left out that you may want to talk about?
We covered quite a bit, but just for everyone to come and get on board, this will be televised, so we'll see you on TV. You know, the bring your larger than life self. You have that energy inside of you, and you know, come on board and support this movement that is by you, for you, about you, and it's for the age groups, as we said, 12 to 16 and 17 to 29, young women, but also some fathers, uncles, brothers, you know, everyone should be a part of supporting this programming and getting involved, and stay tuned to watch when it's available on television. I'm sure we'll be talking about that in the future, but it'll be available to see in Black History Month of next year.
Yes, matter of fact,
so look forward to that.
We're making history, and matter of fact, we have you on our website at the station, also on Missouri by Chamber of Commerce website, also is found about to start being developed. Because right now, we cannot do enough, okay, to encourage our young people, okay, that there's another path they can go.
Yeah.
That they can have some success.
Absolutely.
The path has to be looking forward, not in a moment that can stop everything. You know, and that we have to really consider and be accountable for our actions, and take action that furthers the growth, and that puts roots in the community, and that where you can grab another hand. You know, the slogan for the Miss Black America pageant is "Sow the seeds of positivity and reap the flowers of success," and that's all about you know, getting on board, you know, and sowing and bringing the next generation with you, and to having that feeling, no matter what age you are.
Well, Ms.
So
I know, Ms. Anderson, you're going to say, I know you've been mindful, okay, but I mentioned early on about all these commercials you're seeing now on TV now, okay? All the commercials you're seeing right now, they're having people of color. And so eventually you're going to look to Miss Black America, your organization, okay, to find these models they're looking for, to find the producers they're looking for. Because there's also, you see there's a black face on TV, there's somebody behind the cameras also that's doing this. There's the writers who are black, there's the producers who are black. You know, and so we open up a whole lot of opportunities for young people to be involved in the industry, okay, which is television, radio, and social media.
Yeah. And to have the confidence.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Ms. Long, anything you want to say before we
Yes, actually, I just want to kind of ping pong off of what you said. The opportunity of, you know, the background people. It just doesn't have to be, you know, on front and center stage. Front and center stage is amazing, but you have so many different types of groups of people who like to do the back scenes, like want to do internships or volunteer to help out behind the scenes with the curtains, or, you know, it's just so many different opportunities, like you said, writing, doing scripts, you know, basically just being able to put your foot in the door and make something out of a beautiful situation. I think the opportunity for just being a producer for the show gives me the experience and the know-how to move through life in general with with any endeavor that comes my way. And then for younger girls who can see that as well and be like, I can do that too. You know, that gives people the incentive to know that they can do anything that they put their mind to. You know, your mind is a beautiful place. You just have to know how to work it, know how to be, steadfast, put your focus forward, and just really just be at peace and understand where, what the next mission is. And our next task right now in life is to get this show off the ground and be successful at, our somber leaderships and basically be, great African American Black people. And this is what, we're standing for right now. This is the month, Black History Month, and we are going to take it home all the way until June.
One of the things, that people who get involved with you don't understand this initially, but on your resume, when you volunteer someplace, that goes on your resume. And
Absolutely.
you have Miss Black America, on your resume, and you go someplace, that's a door opener for young people.
Right. Right.
I mean, you work with Miss Black America? Or you did this with Miss Black America? Not that you were Miss Black America, but the fact that you know how...
Get your attention.
Right, that you know how to work in an organization,
Right.
for a couple of years, and that's what people don't understand, the interns are what you need as volunteers. I met with my granddaughter the other day, she was going for her orientation stuff, and I found an article about her that was about when she was 11, 12 years old, the big write-up about her, right, and her track attributes. And I sent it to her, and she forgot about, her history, but I'm saying, that's what we have to always remember as young kids, all your things you volunteer to do, that shows that you can work with people.
Absolutely.
Well, everything you do, every action is an experience of a lifetime, and you have to really consider that when you make connections with people, or make decisions as far as what your next step is, and then parents have to consider it, when they're making decisions for their children as well. But this experience for the adults and for the youth, I mean, they get fundraising experience. They get, the experiences that they accumulate, they can use in the classroom, in the boardroom, in other rooms, not just for their Miss Black America programming. And that really is the idea that when they go out into the world, as a team, as an army, or population, that
I said, these are future models on TV. These are future producers on TV.
Oprah Winfrey said that Miss Black America, that the pageant left a flower in her mind, and she left feeling like she could do anything.
And look at her now, she's there.
And she certainly, and so can, but the thing is, so can you, so can the 12-year-old, so can the 17-year-old, or the, whatever age that might be. You can do anything. You have to, it may start with a seed. It has to be planted. It has to be watered. And has to be produced. But it's in you. I mean, the phrase "you are the one you are waiting for" is so strong, and I hope strengthening, because you have to push yourself from behind. If you're waiting for someone else to do it, but you do have some hands to grab onto, and you do have a stage, and we welcome participation. MissBlackAmerica.com, MissBlackAmerica.com, 3 times, MissBlackAmerica.com.
Say it again. Say it now.
One last how has the pandemic affected, I guess right now with being behind us somewhat, this is coming out for this year, on June 10th.
Yeah, I mean, like every other programming that's eventful or that, I mean, the young women benefit from the contact and the engagement at the pageant and from all of the programming that they can expect. So we didn't do virtual we've had ongoing media and contact and things like that, but I guess the impact that it's made is just in the delays and the rescheduling. Yeah. But it also has built momentum and excitement to the inevitable, which will take place during the week of Juneteenth. And as Angelique said, the team teen pageant will occur on June 19th, and then the adult crowning ceremonies will take place on June 18th. And throughout the week, we'll have this amazing programming. As I said, choreographed protest. We'll have a candlelight ceremony in the past. Back to Africa as part of a cultural swimsuit production number, and we'll have panel discussions. We have a pitch contest for the youth and the adults. So it's definitely encouraging, exciting, educational, and it's worked. It's worked for everyone needs to expect. This is, when you're producing any beautiful product, it doesn't just come with its own little legs and feet and pop up. Everyone involved. It's work. It's fun, and then there's a lot of pride, in the outcome.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think one of the things that I'd like to thank you guys, because as a matter of fact, you will be back on the program many more times to keep this momentum going. Hold on one second, Ms. Anderson. I want you to say hello to someone. Program, Chuck, you still there? Chuck, you there?
Yes.
I have a friend of yours that you haven't talked to in a long time, Miss Anderson. Chuck DeVoe, how you got? Say hello to Chuck.
Hey, Chuck, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm fine. Great to hear your voice. And I have to thank Chuck, who actually made the introduction through his National Black Chamber of Commerce. To Ira, who has the Missouri Black Chamber, and which also, led to other programming and participation of the Miss Black America pageant, and even to us landing the 50th anniversary in Kansas City, Missouri. And then, special thanks to Ira for that as well. We didn't really talk as much about the 50th anniversary. Of course, there's so much moving forward, but I definitely want to show my appreciation for you guys, recognizing, even the importance and the history of this programming and being so supportive.
Well, we thank you so much. But Chuck, that's Ms. Anderson. Ms. Anderson, I want to thank you and Ms. Long for being a part of the program. I want to let Chuck come here and then say this will be continued, okay?
Okay, and Chuck, I'll definitely follow up with you one of these days soon.
I look forward to it, and you're always welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Chuck DeVoe, how you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic.
Well, in fact, how's your ankle doing?
Oh, I'm almost right at 100%.
I know you're down in the supermarket today fighting the crowd.
Yeah, I'm not quite sprinting yet, but I can do the supermarket sweep.
You can get out of the way, though. You can get out of the way.
Man, let me tell you, if you don't, you get run over.
Well, anyway, Chuck, welcome back to the program. First of all, we're happy to hear that you're doing better, okay? And I know since we had a conversation, that a lot of things are taking place with the NASDAQ here in Commerce, as we've always continued to Ms. Anderson moving forward. And I want to thank you again for that introduction. That was years ago that we worked with her and her father here in the state of Missouri. We did the 50th anniversary here, as a matter of fact.
Excellent.
So we became part of, that illustrious history back in the day, as they put. So we do have some history there also. But anyway, so Chuck, right now, if you don't mind, give us an update on what's going on with the National.
We're doing well. We're looking at expanding our organizing and formalizing our international committee. We did that this week in Florida. We have a dynamic group of leaders that have come together to form that. We're going to be announcing that in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
We're reorganizing and revamping. We've got people working on the website. We've got people working on logos and letterheads. We're organizing our fundraising launch that we're doing in conjunction with the American Dream Marketplace. We've spent a lot of time reorganizing that. If you go to the website, American Dream Marketplace, you'll see that it's been .com, AmericanDreamMarketplace.com. You'll see that it's been updated, facelifted, refined, and we're excited. We've got 3,000 storefronts in there. We've got around 100,000 subscribers, people that are using it.
Chuck, I recall, we always have to, enjoy our history when we make it. I recall about 2 years ago, we had this conversation about American Dream Marketplace, and I'm happy to say that Elizabeth Conroy has been one of the supporters, and we've been a part of that from the start.
A founding member.
Yeah, founding. We call it charter member. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only going upwards.
And I will say this, okay, out of that, okay, we have the program, the Blockchain Academy Scholarship Program, which, we're alive and well, and we are actually still recruiting. Naturally, the pandemic this past month, okay, there's been a lot of transition the first of the year, and so has Chuck there, but, the Blockchain Academy is growing for all of our members around the country. And that's something that I remember seeing yet as well. And also, Chuck said for joining the chamber, one of the factors to get that scholarship, which is almost $5,000, in information, is you get the certified certificate, right, Chuck? In Blockchain Academy, which is cryptocurrency.
With a very gainful employment position waiting on you upon graduation.
You can't beat that, and also right now, we get up there on Famous Amos. How's that coming?
We're about to announce the 3 awardees that are won $50,000 each, and we've got some dynamic businesses there. We're rolling through our Black History Month programming, and we may have a few seats left for our Black Business Conference, which is going to take place on Tuesday. You can go to the American Dream Marketplace and register. And then we've got a lot of programs, events that are taking shape with some of our partners that will roll us right up into Black Music Month, but it's really a month celebration of Juneteenth. We've got a number of webinar, seminar type activities that we're doing. We've got one now we're planning with Nielsen, the data company, and it's going to show how small businesses can utilize data, big data. And so we're going to have a seminar on that. We'll be talking about it more on here as time gets closer.
Chuck, one of the things, you recall, Eddie Davis here in St. Louis, one of our, good supporters of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce. His organization has been chosen, by MasterCard out of 5 cities to be a part of a survey to check on diversification, some statistics that you say how Black business have fared in recent years, So I need to put you and him together, It's something that's come out this year about how Black businesses can interface with major corporations. And that's something that's taking place, here. We are part of that. Missouri, I said St. Louis is a part of that. One of those cities that was chosen. And now, one of the things, Chuck, that I'm always excited to hear you talk about, in American Marketplace, how exciting is that now to see that baby that was just an idea now become a baby now just ready to be refurbished, for lack of a better description.
Well, in that lens, in that vernacular, boy, those terrible twos were something else. That child there, we were doing a lot to keep it on track, put it on track. We're kind of like at those rebellious teenage years, where now, and this is one thing we know, when it starts to get a little shine, a little glimmer, you start getting people that want to jump in and start putting their hands on things. And that's where I've been kind of been a little bit of a strict parent in that regard on protecting the image of the brand and the delivery of resources and services to our members, to our constituents that are using it. We've got we're planning on some great things that can happen and will happen with proper management, proper implementation.
Well, one thing Chuck, I have to say is, okay, so people not familiar, the National Chamber of Commerce, our late founder, Mr. Harry Alford, was invited to the United Nations a couple of years ago to speak. And that was a rare opportunity for a black man to have that opportunity to go to the United Nations and speak, I think about 15 or 20 minutes. And what that did, that kind of set us off as in the world of black nations, okay, at the premier company, the premier organization they want to work with, and that's starting to pay off for us.
Absolutely. The United Nations, I almost want to call it an icebreaker, because what it was really truly unprecedented. Mm-hmm. The United Nations is really a human rights very active. They're very active in the human rights area, but it is somewhat political, and their movement into embracing economic empowerment is really how we kind of got to the table. And they've started to include small business in their considerations as they talk about the equity and civil rights of citizens. They're also now including in their conversation the economic empowerment of it. That you could have rights, but if you have no money, or if you have no money, it's hard to hold everybody accountable for your rights. They go hand in hand. It's almost like voting or something. They want your vote, but here in America, if you don't follow up on reiterating what the value of that vote is, it's like, what did it actually mean?
You hold people accountable.
Yeah, so the United Nations has come back around to us and asked us to partner with them on several initiatives where we're going to take their programs for like women and cultural development and help embrace their businesses as into relationships with corporate society.
Well, Chuck, I read that question, okay, because one of the titles that we use here time and time, oh my God, 2015, look where we are now, okay, but we had some good time, we cried together, but one of the things, okay, we was always excited about you and your passport as a global ambassador, okay, so I guess I can say that's something, okay, that in your globe-trotting experiences, you showed the nations a face, okay, they could relate to. And now, planting the seeds, now those seeds are starting to grow up. Would they be a good description?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I know right now, most of those African nations and stuff, even down in South America, nations of color, they have resources, okay, but they're all trying, one thing they have in common, they all want to do business with the United States of America. They all want to
we have a machine of an economy, and we're seeing probably some of the I'm going to say capricious type of. It seems like there's a lot of money being thrown around, and it's what you call paper money, but the amount of money that we're spending with these other countries, the amount of trade and exchange, in addition to being a great country, in terms of anybody can come here almost. I mean, really, if you get here and get in, however, by hook or by crook, these people are finding a way to make it.
Yes. I know here in St. Louis, and probably where you are, on most stores, you see a lot of people of color, okay, not just, Arabs, whatever, okay, they all people of color, okay, and they come in, they do much better than the blacks who've been here all of our lives. But
there's some science to that.
Okay.
These are folks that are coming from sovereign territories, and they've got generations of business and background and sources for resources that includes money.
Mm-hmm.
They got some money. And in addition to that, if they have no money, they can stay within their community and come up with something.
Mm-hmm. And they work together.
Yes.
And I haven't said it, okay, that's one of the things that's in the National Chamber of Commerce, okay, that what we're doing now, okay, we want to be the linchpin that we can all work together in our communities as a team. And when they come to this country, they can reach out to us in our different cities and stuff and find locations, okay, how they have somebody like them they can spend their money with.
Right.
Or do import and exports. Because most countries got something they want to bring in here to sell. Am I right, Chuck?
Man, that's true. Well, this is my first-hand experience that I discovered some years ago when we were so excited about in having the ability to trade with China and the Chinese. But I tell you, they're sellers. They're not buying. So that's one thing. Africa, everybody got something to sell us. But if you're a business owner and you're trying to sell something, that's you got another thing coming. It's different.
Yeah, you talking about China. I recall years ago, okay, I had an opportunity to try to work with China on some stuff, that we were doing. And, I'm kind of glad it didn't materialize now because, that whole thing for China is taking a whole different approach, okay, than they were, well, that was about 4 or 5 years ago now.
Right.
They was working with a chamber down in Houston, down there, okay, and we was working with the Mandarin, the people who was Chinese down there, and we was in line for a multi-million-dollar opportunity that did materialize, but at the same was a learning experience about how to work with the international though. Our chamber, to be in that venue to have that conversation.
Right.
I guess one of the things, I was talking with Miss Black America, Miss Anderson, about that the young ladies they're cultivating, and that's what the National Chamber of Commerce does. Not only does it allow our members a way to network, but also find a way for them to cultivate their ideas and their businesses and stuff, and take it to the market also.
So, Aaron, let me ask you, where do you see things going? Where do we need to be?
Well, Chuck, personally, I see right now that here in Missouri, we're doing some great things, as you already know. And I thank you very much, okay, for allowing me to be in charge of the Black Academy program, which we're working there with HBCUs around the country, as well as with all our chamber members around the country. Also, how to be, how they can get into cryptocurrency, because that is the future right now. People aren't aware of it, but most places now you're seeing cryptocurrency come more and more. Matter of fact, in LA, the Staples Center where the basketball team always played at, that's now called cryptocurrency now. So right now, the Missouri Chamber and the National Chamber of Commerce, I have scholarships that we're making available, okay, to our members and their families and stuff, how they can get involved with this. And it's just that provide a job for them. And that's one of the biggest, the big items we're working on. And also the biggest one for us over here is our program that we're working right now down in Haytown, Missouri, one of the poorest cities in the state of Missouri. First of all, the Black community, we're in the process now bringing resources, bringing 5G technology, broadband technology, as well as housing. We're in the process now building 24 units of housing there. For the people there which needs it very badly, a supermarket, they may call it a grocery, but a supermarket, and also a laundromat. You got to keep yourself clean, as well as what we call a commercial retail space. And this is being done in conjunction with working with one of the former members, leaders of the United States Chamber of Commerce, and one of our partners that we have out of Montana. But the good part about this, Chuck, is we've been able right now to be able to show how the chamber can work with other companies, okay, and use our tax credit in our black community. And this is a project that we're going to go to take it nationwide, but you got to start someplace. And I'm happy to say down in Haiti that the Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Lockridge, Gwendolyn Lockridge, has been a very good partner with us down there. We're working with the people there that own some land. That was the historical, Rebroadcast College high school there. That in its inception was the only black high school in 300-mile radius in Missouri. And that included, 300 miles included almost in Chicago. They included St. Louis and Memphis and stuff like places like that. And so we're partnered with them, okay, to get the land down there to build what we in the process of building. And I'm glad to have the support of the National Chamber of Commerce, that behind us if we're doing this, and with Chuck support, again. And that's what the National Chamber of Commerce, is there for us. We go try stuff, and then, we depend on Chuck and the Chamber for guidance. And that's how I'm right, Chuck?
Yes, sir.
And like I said, we just had a relationship we created with Miss Black America. That was some years ago, where we were able to host the 50th anniversary here in the state of Missouri. I mean, and that was in some very trying times, okay, that it was done, in this for their history. So again, the National Chamber of Commerce, Missouri Chamber of Commerce since 2015 have had a very good relationship, and like Chuck said, we always transitioning, okay, to the next level. And that's where we are now here in Missouri. We're transitioning. Like I said, with Scott here. Thank you very much, Scott. We're doing our website for us, so that should be up and going very shortly. Right, Scott?
Absolutely.
And so right now, that's something that we started to stop on, but now we're going to get it going and stuff, that way we can have a place they can reach us here in Missouri as well as reach our national chamber of commerce. And also, we have to be a part of the American Dream marketplace.com. And that was an idea that came about, and Chuck asked us to get involved, and we said yes. And now we look back, Chuck, that has been a game changer, hasn't it?
Yes, sir.
And that's one way we tell our members to be. I talked to a gentleman this morning. What happens here is if you're a black business owner, you're looking for resources in the form of grants, and that's what you're looking for most time. We have those through American Dream Marketplace. In our case, you're looking for financial assistance, okay? We have that available to you through our partner here with Justin Peterson here in the St. Louis area, who is the #1 small lender in the whole country, micro lender in the country. So we have him as part of our team, as well as we have relationships with people who can open doors for you. And that's what the chamber is supposed to do. And as well, okay, we can direct you to Chuck, okay? Because right now, people need certifications in different areas. As a matter of fact, our White House connection also, Chuck, we can discuss this today, how we've been having conferences with the White House on a regular basis now.
We've been very selective how we get involved with this political stuff because it's convoluted. They're saying things, and then you gotta bring in the litmus paper to test it, to see if it's real and if it's coming back.
You gotta verify.
Yeah, and it will swing on you. It will swing one way and then come all the way back to the other. But you have so many people trying to tell you what you just saw.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, everybody knows it's real. And I mean, have you noticed how this whole thing about COVID is still swinging back and forth, and it's like we're not really sure. And we're hearing different things, and I'm seeing people, just the public in general now, kind of like, okay, we done heard it all now. We know y'all don't know, or that y'all playing a game, or it isn't all the way as like you say. And the same thing, too, that we're still to this day talking about January 6th, the insurrection. And I heard some rebellious white folks talking about, you didn't do that when we had a riot and the people got killed in the streets in all these cities. But, boy, when it came to your house, to the people with the suits and ties on, y'all act like the end of the world.
You got attention.
you know, and just say how bad it is or isn't. But that's our political system. You know, that one is yes, it was bad in all these ways and things. Before we still investigate, still trying to find people and arrest them and do all these things with it. I said, well, maybe if we could do that for everything, it really have some continuity and people would believe in it.
Yeah, we're showing they can do it.
Yeah.
Showing too. But Chuck, guess what? One thing that never changed is the clock on the wall. And so if you be so kind of get us out with some kind words of wisdom.
Keep an eye and an ear open to our world affairs, because we're going to be impacted by whatever happens between Russia and Ukraine. And, you know, it may be some business opportunity, but we certainly hope that it doesn't go the way it's looking to go, that we're going to be drawn right back into something to distract us from our daily lives and things that impress us so much. So we thank you for listening. Keep tuned in. We got some great things coming, and God bless and then bless all of us here on this show that we can meet up each week and have an opportunity to express our feelings and our thoughts.
I do, Chuck.
Hey, Radman. God bless you.
God bless you.
Yes, Chuck.
That's Chuck DuBois, that's Reverend Lyles, and that's Scott. My name is Howard, folks. Thank you for joining us for lunch and by Jim Cummings. Hope you had a great day with us. Life's good. Please wear your face mask and please be safe. Life is good.